So let's move on. Obviously, we haven't looked at influences, and obviously, set up colliders. We're not going to do that. But the influences, we can do the same thing that we did last time with adding some vorticity and things like that. But I thought, and hopefully you've downloaded and installed them, in this Rebel Pack 0.04, we've got some new influences they've added for pyroclastic noise and things like that. So if you've downloaded this, if you're on a PC, let me just go to here. What you want to do is, if you haven't installed them already, you go to your C drive, you go to this, no, you go users, find your username, which is what what you log in with, and hang on, that's the wrong one. That's not right. There we go. Sorry. And you want to go. There should be an Autodesk folder in here, and a Bifrost, and something called compounds. And if you just copy the Rebel Pack into there, you may have to restart Maya, but when you do, you'll get access to these Rebel Pack nodes. And there's a couple of good ones. There's there's loads of good ones. Actually, the whole thing's got loads of good stuff. So if we go to influences, you can see we've got a thing called, oh my god, let's just bother that. Just write it. I'm in a right plav today. So influences. Yeah. So we've got this Aero Einstein and this Aero pyroclastic. Let's try the Einstein one first. So you can tell these are Rebel Packs. They have these little R's rather than just the sort of normal. They do have these little icons which says they're experimental. They're sort of like little laboratory beaker things, for vases, jars. So this one is, let's have a read of it. Takes the existing velocity field, multiplies that turbulence field, creates a secondary turbulence field, blah blah blah. The bottom line is it adds sort of more detail to your combustion explosion straight out the bat. So you just drag that one to that one, and also that one in there as well. So we've got both. And let's do this. So what am I on? Am I on read or write? I'm on write. Let's go to read mode. So let's just have a look at one of the frames up here. Do I have a frame up here? Should do. Thinking about it? Yeah, I'm just thinking about it and I've just clicked it. There we go. So you can see it's pretty soft and squidgy looking. Let's give it a go now and see what it looks like. So that was frame 15. You can sort of see there's more detail in here already. There's all different sort of variations going on. Right, so it's going to take a little while, but you can see already, I'm only 2 frames off 15, but when we get to 15, if I can wait that long, probably won't do. Maybe, I've got one more frame to go. Let's just have a little wait. But you can see already there's a lot more turbulent sort of information going on in there already, which is nice. And that's 14. It's going to be 15 next. And if you already, I mean, we can just stop it here actually. Oops. Let's just do read. Not sure if I actually calculated 15. No, it didn't, but we can sort of compare and contrast between 14. You can see it's a lot more cloudy sort of stuff going on compared to that one. And just straight out the back, we haven't even done much, we haven't even changed any of these settings, just left them as they are. So you can get some quite good stuff with these new Rebel influences without having to, you know, sort of tweak and fiddle around, which is what they're sort of aiming for. I mean, what I'm showing you now, you might think this is all quite complicated, but I think ultimately a lot of this stuff is just going to be fairly, like, plug in this to do this. They're building up all these compounds and things. So let's have a look at the other one. So the other one was pyroclastic. Pyroclastic, there we go. So it says here this one will resemble the detail you get in volcanic plumes and large explosions. So again, it has two outputs, vorticity and drag. That one had turbulence and vorticity. I'm just going to break those ones for the time being. And you know, as artists, this is sort of what you want. You want to be able to just sort of get something that's got, oops, is that connected? Yep. You know, some settings you can play around with, but you don't want to have to sort of go in and build all this stuff. And this is what they're aiming at. So let's play this one. You can see this is getting sort of nice explosion-y sort of feel to it already. Another one straight out of the, and actually it sims a lot quicker than the Einstein one, if you noticed. A lot quicker. Let's see if we've got, I think I may have missed my frame there, yeah. So we can't compare it to 15 anymore, unfortunately, but and also I didn't go to, oh hang on, I set that to read. I think that might have been why it was so quick. Yeah, let's take that back. I wasn't going quick, I was just reading the cache. Let's do that again. Let's see what we get. Seems to be slightly more explosive outwards. And these are new, these, I've not really tested them that much myself, so oops. So you can see there, let's go back to read, see if I can get back to 14. I'm going to show it up. No, I don't think it did. Didn't catch that one, did it? There we go. So the Einstein one had a bit more detail in it, but this has got more sort of bulgy pyroclastic cloud going on. But what we can do is we can just use both of them. So I'll plug in that one and that one. And there we go, has that one gone in? You can see it's getting a bit slow now because we've obviously got quite a lot of nodes, and I'm just going to do that to L. So I'm putting in both the Einstein and this pyroclastic one. I'm going to rewind that. And let's see what happens when I just try 100 frames of it. You see them both mixed together, you're getting quite a good sort of explosion, but I'll pause it here and I'll come back when it's finished. So I've just rendered out, well, 19 frames of it actually. I just thought one, it was maybe a bit too volatile, but you can see here you're getting some really good detail in this, and I've not upped the resolution at all. And if I compare it to the frame from a cache previously, frame here 20, you know, that's a big visual difference, isn't it, just from adding these two influences. So these are really cool. I highly recommend you make sure you got the Rebel pack installed. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to maybe turn this burn rate down a bit, back to maybe 1, and sim that again. Interesting that changed the colour there, see that? Right, read, yeah, it's weird. Anyway, we go back to right mode, and I'll sim it again. So I just simmed that out, and this is, I only did 33 frames, but you see it's pretty cool. So just by adding, you know, if I compare it to one of my other ones, where are they? Actually, I'll probably do, actually I'll do over here. Teaching. So, oh no, that was the 0.1 one, but that early one, you know, which is nice in itself, but you can see this has got much more, you know, all this stuff, just by adding those. So it's breaking up all these surfaces more into sort of, you're getting nice rolling stuff. It's very volatile. You know, it's doing what we were doing with the vorticity. Pause that. With smoke, but it's all embedded into these, and they've made these for us. So like the vorticity, we could crank that up. It's already got a way we can do the modulating it in here. We've got some static noise dampening, which I'm not 100% sure what that is. As I say, these are really new, so this noise dampening do. If a certain vorticity is required to achieve a desired amount of detail in some areas, but create static noise in others, where the flow is moving slowly, the noise dampening can increase to lower the amount of static noise. Oh, cool. There you go, so you've got those sort of controls. So this is what's really cool about everything's going on in here, that, you know, these jump inside. Let's have a look, what are they doing? You know, they've got influences in there, noise fields and drag influences and vorticity influences, but they put them all together and they made them into a new compound, which gives you all these sort of controls. And this is the future, I think. This is what's going to sort of get more and more powerful. It's more and more these sort of compounds are made by Autodesk or by other, you know, people who are using it, and they start sharing them around. It's just going to become a really powerful tool. So that's that for just showing those sort of new influences. I'm going to have a quick look at some of these extra settings we get in the Aero solver. Next one.